Look, his phone started going off. You could hear it the moment he said, call him directly. We've been putting a number up. That goes directly to the sheriff's department. I'm sure he's listed there locally, as elected officials are, for how you reach him. And that phone did not stop ringing. And he is really pleading with the public right now to trust the law enforcement who are doing their jobs. They are depending heavily on technology. And remember where Tucson is. It's not far. It's about 95 minutes from the border with Mexico. And so there is some resistance. I know from living down there, my husband was born down there. There's resistance sometimes to a lot of that surveillance. And so what he's saying is he's pleading, come on, you know, we need all your cameras, all this. And he said, you've helped solve tough crimes before. Let's do this one again together. Quote unquote, we do in fact have a crime. This was interesting. We have shut down our search and rescue assets. Not a search mission, it's more of a crime scene now. That came very late in this nearly 30-minute long news conference. A lot of questions at the end. She couldn't walk 50 yards was something we learned about Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old mom of Today Show host, as you see on the left of your screen, Savannah Guthrie. And we did learn that Savannah Guthrie is in Tucson as they do this investigation. I want to bring in Randy Sutton. Bring him back with me now, retired Las Vegas police lieutenant, and Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. A couple of different perspectives to get from both of you. I'll go to you first, Randy Sutton, just on what you learned there, a lot of information.
Yeah, he was very clear that they discovered evidence at the scene that that required the homicide section to be involved in this. They did, in fact, say that this is a crime. Now, what crime could it be? Well, it could be either an abduction, which I think that they're really looking at as an abduction. Could there have been signs of violence there? That would be an indication. From what he said, that they found signs of violence. When he said that they found signs that she did not leave voluntarily, that tells me that they found signs of violence there. Now, the question is, what were those signs? Was it blood evidence? Was it disarray? Furniture being disarray? It could be any number of things, but they are processing the scene. And that indicates that there is evidence. And of course, they will be looking at all the neighbors. You know, when they do the canvass, they're going to be looking at all the Ring doorbells and other surveillance stuff that was there. And that's what he's talking about when he talks about license plate readers, utilizing all the technology. And of course, that's exactly what they need to be doing.
Caldwell Crime Institute. If you don't know it, you should. Gianno Caldwell is with us today. I want to get your perspective from this because oftentimes you'll be with your institute, so I understand, you'll be working with families and with people who are going through some things like this. What can you add to all of this after watching that news conference?
And you're absolutely right, Harris. We work with victims of violent crime, folks that are trying to get their family members' case solved, trying to get media attention for their families. And you know what sticks out to me about this case, especially being someone who's worked at the Fox News Channel for 9 years, and you know this very well, Harris, us being in the public eye, we're always concerned about our family and what could be the potentiality around our conversations and who may be potentially targeting folks that are on TV. So I think about Savannah and the fact that we now have the CBP that's come in, the Customs and Border Patrol, who have dog teams on site. They're still doing searches. We got FBI that's coming in. They're going to be a part of the technological advantages that the Tucson Sheriff's Office does not have. This is, again, an 84-year-old woman. She was last seen on January 31st in her home at 9:30 p.m. Tucson is a city of about 500,000 people. Someone has saw something. There's cameras everywhere. So people, check your cameras, check your Ring cameras, give the footage to the police if it's helpful. Someone knows something. And you got to keep this in mind, Harris. Knowing who Nancy's daughter is, Savannah, I'm sure there was many neighbors that know about the relationship. They know that that's a mom with a daughter on television. So this is a case, I think, that deserves a lot of national attention. And I hope and pray that she's able to come back home safely.
Amen. You know, the sheriff, Randy, did address that for just a moment. he said that we don't see any indications that there would be a connection between, he didn't use the word celebrity or fame, but just the well-known nature of Savannah Guthrie. She is there in Tucson, as you might expect. That family has gathered. I want to find out from you now, as I'm looking at some of my notes, and what you brought up was really important too, Gianno. The sheriff said, our search and rescue assets have been shut down. But CBP, Border Patrol, dog teams, FBI, technology, I mean, they jumped in about an hour and a half ago, the FBI. That's when we first learned that, yes, they're on the ground.
Right. Well, they're going to be utilizing all the assets that they have. Now, keep in mind, the Pima County is a very well organized agency. They have a lot of assets, and this is nothing new to them. So, they've handled tough cases in the past. They're very professional. They've got the assets, and they've got the experience to do it.
Is the FBI going to take over? Do you anticipate that at this point?
No, I don't. Unless there is some federal nexus, if they discover that this is a kidnapping where she was moved across state lines or international lines because of the proximity to Mexico, they would not normally take over a case like this. This would be a local case. That doesn't mean that they don't have, they have tremendous forensic assets. The FBI, more so than any state agency does. So they might be utilizing the FBI's forensic abilities to do the crime scene.
All right, I want to keep that number up, and also the plea from the sheriff: just call 911. He's taking calls personally. He wants to assure people that they can be a help and encourage them to help out. He said at one point, "I need." Daily medication, call 911, in need of, the victim is in this case. He said crime. I think we can call her a victim at this point. She needs daily medication, cannot run or walk 50 yards. She's 84 years old with some physical impairments, but her mind is sharp. Those details. Gianno, Randy, thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.